Hello and good evening. Friday again. That's the words I always have written, imprinted on my memory. Friday again. Doesn't the time roll around? Friday. It seems like, well, no, I was only here last night. But, yeah, it's Friday. Another week has disappeared just like that. I won't say I haven't done anything this week because I have. But the time just flies by. So it'll soon be 10 years time. And no, I shouldn't go like that, should I? So much to do in the next 10 years. Hello, Linda. Good evening to you. So we've had a lovely day again. Nice and warm. Clouds coming over a little bit, but we've had a lovely, bright, sunny day, which is always nice. Makes you feel that much better, doesn't it? Hello, Judith. Lovely to see you this evening. Oh, I've got wrinkles. Wrinkles. Dear, oh dear. I have to sit up straight. Hello, Joanna. Lovely to see you. So last night we had a little sale, which I've forgotten. Where have I put those? No, oh, they're over there. Hello, Jill. Hello, Josie. Hello, Jill and John. Oh, that's a good idea. At least you've got two platforms to be on here with. Hello, Pat. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Trisha and Dorothy. Right, before I miss anybody else, let's see, they're about to come up just when I get up. I'm just going to grab the other. Oh, Dorothy's still there. That's lovely. We'll push that out of the way. Pop that there. Just grab these. Because I just thought I would show, for those of you that were unable to watch last night, there you go, it starts, as soon as I stand up, they all start scrolling up. Hi, Janet. Hello, Catherine. 28 degrees, good grief. I think it's supposed to be that next week as well, and humid. Oh. Hello, Elaine. Oh, never mind, it's still out there if you wanted to have a look. I'm going to show you a little few of the bits. Oh, your son's disappointed for tonight. Oh, dear. Oh, and there's Janet. Hello, Janet. And hello, Anne. Well, I hope you're all well. Good evening, Sonia. Lovely to see you. And Gita. So thank you, everybody that's sent their emails through and their payments. I haven't got round to saying thank you for your payments as yet, because I've been doing other bits and pieces. One of them writing instructions again. Hello, Angela. And I could have, oh, it's all, yeah, sometimes I can't be bothered, but I think, Trisha, you've got to do it, so I sit down and do it. Hello, Glynis. And when it's so lovely outside, it would be really nice to just sit down outside and do very little, or think about things, or draw things, and make plans. Hello, Carolyn. But there's things I need to do inside, like writing instructions. So at least I've done that, so that's ready for the off. So yes, last night, for those of you who were unable to watch, it was the launch of the next sew-along, which will be on Sunday the 14th of July, 2 o'clock, same as usual. Hello, Alison. I'll reply to your email shortly. Catherine, you're not the early riser. Yes, I know. I was up at 6:15, and I thought, why not crack on with answering a few emails? And boy, there were quite a few of you that were up at the same time. Oh yes, Sandra. Yes, so it is the 14th of July. It's the Sunday. Hello, Wendy. I think Catherine and Rena. Hello, Kathleen. Sent a message, and I saw it pop up at the top. Hi, Tony. And I thought, oh, blimey, what have I done? What have I done? And what I had done, I got my, hello, Sue, got my calendar there, but I didn't turn it from June to July. So consequently, the 16th was of June, not July. So it is Sunday the 14th of July, which will be, what's, Sunday 23rd, 30th, 3 weeks, 3 and a bit weeks. Hello, Kim, good evening to you. 3 and a bit weeks. So it gives people a chance to sign up if they'd like to, or if they've seen that already, then not. Hello, Beverly. Love your little joke. I'm glad it wasn't only me. I thought, I don't understand. So I read it out to myself, and I thought, yes, I get it. Hello, Carrie. I'll get your bag in the post. I'm sorry it never turned up. Oh dear. Hello, Marion. Hello, Michelle. You're about to host a dinner party. Oh, lovely. Hello, Jane. I think the majority of us are enjoying the good weather. I don't want it to be any hotter though. No, I think, to be honest, I prefer to be freezing cold in the winter, of course, than I do to be boiling hot in the summer. Where do you book to join the sew along? Yes, so the sew along is on the website. The easiest way is to put in the search bar sew along and it will come up. Now there are 8 options actually. One option being workshop only, and the other 7 are all different fabrics, all different designs fabrics, which I'll show you in a second. So as you remember, Kathleen, of the Sew with Trisha group, there is a discount code. So have a look. Hello, Kirsten. Have a look for the discount code before you check out. Hello, Paula. Definitely you prefer cold. Yes. Patsy's walked up the road listening, now home, and need to pour a cold drink. Yeah. Yes, do that. You often see people walking up the road with a phone, and I didn't realise there'd be a person. Who else is walking up the road listening to me? Oh dear. That's lovely. Hello, Virginia. Good evening to you. So yes, so you sign up on the website, and then if you look for the group, which is Sew Along with Sew Totally Trisha, or it's a separate group, just like we did before with the first one. So Sew Along with Sew Totally Trisha, and it will say the cross hip bag, and I called it cross hip because it could be cross body or around your hips, so like a bum bag. Entirely however you want to wear it. Oh, there's Ellen. I was just going to say about you, Ellen. Lovely to see you. You just popped on to say hello. Now, I was going to tell all you lovely ladies that we all know that Ellen's been poorly and been in hospital, but she sent me a lovely message today, and it was lovely to hear from her. So she hasn't got the energy that she would like to have at present, but she took the time and trouble to send a little message and says how she sends her love to all of you, and I've sent it back to her on your behalf. So she's here tonight just for a short while, just to say hello. So Ellen, get better very, very soon, or improve slowly, that so you keep up with it. But it's lovely to have you here. Hello, Patricia. Oh, there you go. And hello, Michelle. There, Jane says, nice to see your name. Yes. So Ellen was saying that it's the best she's felt in a long time. There you are. You'll see all these comments, Ellen, which is lovely. Lovely. So while you're... Hello, Mary. Gosh, Mary, we're seeing lots of you now, which is lovely. You can also... And hello, Barbara. Oh, that's lovely. So I will show those of you that haven't seen all the different options. So the price is £22 for the workshop, free postage, so £22. If you're in the group, as I say, there's a discount code. With the kit, you will get everything you need to make all of this, which there's about 1.5 meters of webbing. There's all your bag hardware, there's your zip, there's a lovely little dangly which can vary. You'll see as I go through, there's some different ones. Hello, Christine. Hello, Sharon. Wet and miserable. Oh my goodness, Sharon. Everybody else here, I'm sorry. We'll send some over to you. Dry that wetness away. There we are. So this one is called Summer Breeze. Okay. The next one is called, got to remember them all, Blue Splash. So there's a little different hanger there. We all like a dangly. I know. In different shapes and sizes, as I say. So Blue Splash for this one. That's a Stoff fabric. We've got Stoff and Moda here. So this one, the wrong way round. This one is called Lime because of these the line panels at the side. It's the only one that's got different colour panels at the side. I can't. Every time I speak to my mum, she says, be good, won't you? I said, I'll try. This one is called Wine Floral. Another Stoff fabric with another different dangly. This one, which you've seen this fabric before, is called Mosaic. So they've practically all of them have got white zips except some breeze, and they've all got white webbing so that it will work with whatever. This one is called Turquoise, and I love it. It's like Liberty. Oh, hello Amanda. Hello to you. So I know a lot of you have already signed up. I think we've got about 35 already. So that one there, and then Rainbow is the last one, which is there. That one's got a little star on too. So you've got all of those choices for the kit with your sew along. You've got until about, what have I done, the 14th of July. Can't think what I did now. But you've got at least another 2 weeks to sign up if you'd like. And the kits will all go out around 7 to 10 days before. That's right. So if you want to order 2 kits, you are more than welcome to. Don't forget to use the discount code, because you will get them the same price. You'll get the discount off of each one that you order if you like 2 of the options. Okay, so that was the sew along. The other thing I had, which was absolutely lovely. Oh, okay, Michelle. Oh, let's start with spring. Spring, Tilda Fabrics. I had these 16 fat 8s, all for £42. And so you've got everyone in the range in each season. Can you buy? Yeah, absolutely. But if you buy, yeah, just send me a message, send me an email, and so that I can do that. It will be the same price, but you may as well actually sign into the group, and then you can watch the demonstration, because the PDF will be in there. There's not a printed instruction pack with the kit, but the instructions will be in the group. It's no dearer to be in the group. Hyacinth bouquet. Okay, so spring, summer is in those beautiful blues. These are all on the website, so I've got a few left over. A lot went, but they're on the website, the rest of them, and you can see all those wonderful fabrics. Then we have at the bottom here is autumn in those lovely rusty tones. And then the last one is winter. Spring was very popular and has practically gone, if you like the yellowy one there in the middle. And then you've got winter with your reds and greens. Good evening, Bev. Oh, that's all right, Anne. If you're away, it doesn't matter. When you're in the group, the group will stay there forever, so that you can go and watch the video whenever you like. Okay. So it's well worth just signing up for it, whether you watch it at the time or not. You don't have to watch on the day. There we go. Okay, so those were those. And then the other ones that were very popular, I did a couple of kits. And I called it the Layla bag. I hadn't got a name for it yet. But I did a couple of William Morris bags. Okay, they've got a little tie on the side. Oh, I'm glad you love them all. So the William Morris bags are £15 for the kit, either in blue or in brown. And you can see on the blue one I've actually quilted around the squares, and the brown one I didn't, but that's entirely up to you. There isn't a pocket inside, but I know you all love your pockets, and you could put an internal zipped one or a patch pocket, whatever you would like. So the two there, I'm making the kits up, so they are unlimited. Can I send you an invoice for all 4, please? Oh, Catherine, they are lovely. Wilhelmina bag, I could have done, couldn't I? I've called it Layla, because I went through the names of my bags that I've already done, and I'd only got one L. I don't know why. It's a Lulu bag. So when I do my book, I need to have, I've got two alphabets. So I have called it that. It should have been Wilhelmina, shouldn't it? Yes. Oh, Judith, I should have asked you, shouldn't I? Okay, so there's those. If anybody would still like one, you can just send me an email and I'll add you to my list of cutting when I get them already done. Okay. So, I'm worn out now. Oh, don't close door. Don't close. I'm just going to open the door. So I've got one shut, so I haven't got a through breeze. And I don't need a through breeze. Oh, there's a little bit of a breeze, which is nice. We don't like it all humid, do we? Not at all. So, oh, lovely. Oh, thank you, Ellen. Yes, so there's a few other bits, but I think they sold out. Those that ordered the Vario Creative, they'll be coming on Monday, so really, really good. Yes, Judith, there is a Lindsay bag, isn't it? Well, how did I miss that? There is. Oh, well, I've got 3 now, haven't I? Unless I change it. I could change it. I would change it, Judith, because I haven't printed it off yet. It's only in my name. It's going to be the Wilhelmina bag. How about that? Thank you, Judith. Yep, I haven't put it on the website or anything like that, so it can be the Wilhelmina. And I won't forget that one, will I? Okay, so let's crack on with tonight's demo. So those of you in the Sew with Trisha group, I do harp on about it, don't I? But I have put a little PDF there, just with the basics. I will do that for you, Catherine. They're £42 each, so that will be 442s, 168. But it is. You will have all the fabrics. They all work together. Hello, Vanessa. Thank you, Judith. They all work together because there's a little bit of blue that goes through all of the range. I'm having them as well. It's the Go Baby worth buying. I love it. I love it. It's a bit like Sharon, an embroidery machine. Good job I know what you're talking about, isn't it? Now what Sharon means by a Go Baby is an AccuQuilt Go, and there's one that's a baby one, and it will take the smaller dies. And let me see, I have gone for the Go Big because it's that bit bigger. I know they're quite a price these days, and then there's a Go, what are they called, Go Big Electric. I haven't got the electric one. Quite good idea to get one, but I shan't. The Go Big is fine. I was tempted with the Go Baby, but there's always that thing of, Jill's got the baby, yeah. Will you want some of the bigger dies? But yes, the Go Baby. What I would do, have a look at the price of dies. Hello, Christine. Have a look at the price of dies because they're not cheap by any way, shape or form. However, probably these days, because Sizzix aren't doing as many quilting dies, it's probably the only way of getting a die cutting system for your patchwork. Hello, Yvonne. I haven't used it much. Yeah, the Gemini machine uses thin metal dies. And in my experience, I have always found that the thick dies, which go in the Sizzix Big Shot or the Go machines, do not wear out. They cut perfectly every time. Whereas with the thin metal dies, sometimes, I'm being very nice here, sometimes they won't do exactly what you want them to do. I'm not saying they're dreadful, because lots of people have got it, but my preference is the ones which take the thicker dies. They have a steel ruled cutting edge in there. You won't cut your fingers on it, and it's all surrounded by dense foam, and that is sort of pushed back as the pressure goes through the machine. And Barbara's got the Gemini too. Yep. Oh dear. Hello, Marilyn. Yeah. So as I was saying, just have a look at the price of dies. I must admit, Quilt Direct is one of the only or the best place to get your dies from. They frequently have discounted dyes, so I would have a look at it. And your smaller dyes, on average, you're probably talking £25 to, you don't, there's very few I've seen under 25, 25 to 35, possibly 40, but very collectible. Or if you look on Facebook and make sure you're dealing with somebody that is kosher, a lot of people sell dyes off for less, and I have bought the odd one from Facebook sellers. But with that, if you are buying from somebody, make sure you use PayPal and make sure you use goods and services, because you don't know them. Yes. Now Wendy, I know Wendy sometimes has a few. Have a word with Wendy, see if you wouldn't mind that, Wendy, would you? See if she's got any that she's selling. Oh, Judith got rid of the Gemini. Had to return it twice and it wouldn't cut. Yeah, that's what does happen. And Amanda says, the Sizzix dies, you've both Sizzix and the Gemini prefer the Sizzix. You've bent the Gemini dies. Yeah, that is what happens. Now, I used to demonstrate the Gemini when I worked for Crafts Companion. And, oh, good evening, Moya. Lovely to see you. Oh, I have Sunbonnet Sue. Now, Sunbonnet Sues are, they're about £60 each. Now, they will go through, I'm sure they'll go through the Go Baby, because they're narrow, but they're long. So it may be that you have to put them through twice, but to get the whole thing. But I think there's separate parts to it, so you put it through once and then the other part again. Oh, Ellen got the Go Baby, especially for the caravan. It worked well. It used up to 6-inch dies. There we go. So Ellen uses one in the caravan. So yeah, I wouldn't knock it at all. As I was saying, it's like the embroidery machine. Sometimes you think, do I go for one which has a bigger hoop, or will I be happy with the smallest one? So, but yeah, well worth getting if it's within your budget, because they're not the cheapest. But, and also the other thing is, the Sizzix and AccuQuilt dies are not compatible. Now, you can buy an adapter plate so that you can use AccuQuilt in the Sizzix, but you can't use Sizzix dies in the AccuQuilt machines because they're too thick. Okay. Oh, you think they're going to start doing more? It would be good if they did. I have got a lot of Sizzix ones because I used to work in that store. What would I need to get if I print off words, letters to iron on? What would I need to get if I wanted to print off words and letters? If you wanted to print them off. If you wanted to print off words, letters to iron on fabric. Oh, I see. Well, you mean... I would YouTube that. There's different ways. If you're wanting to put wording onto fabric, now what have people done? You can either, if you've got an inkjet printer, I don't think it works so well with, what do I mean, toner, laser printers. You can, if you're very careful, you can feed fabric through a printer, manual feed, as opposed to going through the rollers. Well, it will go through the rollers, but you want it to just go through straight. What you don't want, it depends on your printer. If your printer takes the paper in and rolls it around so it prints basically on the bottom, it's not as good for printing on fabric. So I have done this before, and if you take an A4 sheet of paper, and you have, say, I've done it on calico. I'll have to find out what I did. I've got something somewhere which was lovely. If you use, say, a 505 spray or a spray of some sort onto the paper and put your fabric onto it and make sure it's absolutely smooth and the full size of the A4, no smaller, no bigger, and feed it through your printer, it can print onto fabric. More often than not, what you should do, if it's going to be washed, there is a fixative that you can spray onto the fabric once it's done. There's other ways where you can pop it onto paper and use a fabric medium, which is like a glue, and you put that on the paper, you wet it or put your paper down and then wait till it dries, and then you use water to scrub the paper off, and it leaves the wording there on your clothing, whatever it is. Somebody always decides to cut their lawn or trim, don't they? Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit, but you could go onto YouTube, as I say, there's lots of different ways of doing it. Sublimation, yeah, you could do that, or you could go for a cricket, they call it a cricket go, the baby, cricket baby, cricket go, cricket something, and you can cut vinyl. Yeah, you can cut your vinyl out in lettering and iron that on. Yeah, the lettering sets are very expensive, Moira. I think they are between £200 and £300 for those sets, but if you wait till they're on offer, they are very, very, they're much more reasonable but not cheap. No, they don't. Irritating, irritating. Yeah, no, I tend to block it out, and then all of a sudden I think, oh, for goodness sake, probably only did it yesterday. Oh, immaculate garden, not mine. Oh, hello, Jack. Oh, dear. Nice to see you anyway. Oh, Christine's got a cricket and it works with HTV. Lovely. Scan and cut. Yep. I had a scan and cut and solid. Joy, that's it. The Cricket Joy. Cricket Go, Cricket Baby. No, Cricket Joy. I nearly did, but nearly bought one of those, but I haven't. So I thought that's another load of stuff to start buying. Someone had some on the Aqua Group for £55. That's a good price, Wendy. Yeah, have a look for AccuQuilt. Just put in the search bar on Facebook, AccuQuilt, and the groups will come up there, and join one of those and see what they've got to sell. £55 is great for, that's practically half price, I would say, on a new Go Baby. Scan and cut letters, yeah. I couldn't get my head around the scan and cut. I had a Cricket and they've really much better than the original ones. It was a personal cutter, I think, when I had one. Yeah, make sure it's UK, absolutely, yes. Every other day, even in winter. Oh my goodness, Catherine. Okay, let's start. Oh, I shan't be done. Marty said, what time do you want dinner? 7:30, I said. It won't be 7:30. Okay, let's start. This is what, now, I haven't finished off the top properly, but this is what we are going to make. It's a stuffed circular bowl. I gave you a sneaky peek before, didn't I? So it's lovely and tactile because it's all squidgy. And I've started to put some, I put bias binding around the top, but you can finish it however you like. But more often, I would think you will need to hand stitch it around the top to finish it off. But it is very easy to do. And I put a PDF with just the basic instructions in the group so that, and I've put the date of the tutorial, the demo tonight on there. Oh yes, okay. Okay, right, sorry, there's a message coming in the top. Yes, just so that you know, it wouldn't just, because it looks like little rolled up nappies, doesn't it? Like the Peau Douce. I bet they don't do Peau Douce anymore. Pampers, but I used to love Peau Douce. Pampers smelt nice, but I don't know if they do now. So this is what we're going to make. Okay, what do we need? We don't need very much in supplies at all. So we need, this is a piece of Decaville. Now, I've got Decaville, this is the heavy one. It's on the website, and I've always had it by the ½ metre, but I put fat quarters on there now, because this, again, it's not the cheapest to use, but can you see how firm it is? This is great for bag bases, which I must use it a little bit more, but it gives a nice firm base. And can you see how nice and firm that is? That is really, so this is not fusible fleece, it's not Thermolam, but you can see that's a lovely flat, and it's because I've used Decaville in there. So it's a leathery feel. One side is just the textured side. The other side, I don't know if you can see, it's got dry adhesive, so that's gluey there. So it's fusible on one side. That side needs to go down onto the reverse of the fabric. So you need one circle, whatever size you like. I would say, I wouldn't do it much smaller than this, which is, that is 6 inches across. I drew round a reel of elastic, is what I drew that round. I did say Decaville. It's spelt without the LE on the end, so Decovil. And I've actually got this Decaville Light, which is a thinner one. I suppose you could. You could do that if you wanted to. Depends if it was going to get wet. But the Decaville one, this is called, I've put heavier weight, so you'll see it's heavier weight. I think it's £4.50 for a fat quarter. And a fat quarter would be 20 inches by about 18, because the whole width for a ½ metre is 36 inches wide. So it's still a decent sized piece for you to do. Hello Janet, lovely to see you. So that's what you need, a circle. And then you want 2 fabric circles. So I've done another one, so I'm going to have a matching pair, but one's going to be smaller. This one's smaller than the other. And what I did here, oh, you can see it here, I think. If you put your circle on your fabric, like so, this was on the reverse, and then you want your bigger circle to be, this is 2.5 inches bigger than this circle all the way round. So all I did was put my circle on the fabric, and then, let me hold it like this, I took my ruler and I made a mark at 2.5 inches all the way around this circle. I kept putting dots, and you can see the lines where they're, and then I've just cut on the line. So, and my line, that was wrong there. So it's about 2.5 inches, and I wouldn't go any lower than 2.5 inches, less than 2.5 inches, because otherwise it won't have much depth to it. But I didn't want it to be too big. The other one I did was bigger than this. So the first thing we need to do is find the centre of this and the centre of this. So I'm going to dip the camera down now so that I can do this fairly easily, because this needs to be fused onto the back of one circle, just the one, and right in the centre, so you've got the same amount of fabric going all the way around the edge. So let us just dip that down like so. And it's easy enough on this, because I'm just going to fold this in half twice. So I'm going to fold, I'm going to line those edges as well as I can. That's it. And then I'm going to flip it that way and align that edge there. And I'm going to give that a nice little crease in the middle. Okay. So I've got my point there. I'm going to get a pin where I can see where my pin cushion is. Oh, it's there. So let's just put a pin so that I can see it. Let's just do that again. There. Okay. It's just hard in this light to be able to see, but you'll be able to see that a lot better. So there is my, so I'm going to put the pin there in the centre just to mark it. Now, with a circle, what we can do, and I'm going to do it on the fusible side, so you can just feel that's fusible. I can see the glossiness there now. So if because the glossy side is going to be hidden, I'm just going to put a line across there, and then you can mark any other line. Doesn't have to be, there we go. Doesn't have to be exactly into quarters, because that line there is going to be the middle. So all I'm going to do is then, I'm putting the glossy side down, but I'm going to put a pin in the middle. Whoops, it's not there. So I'm just going to, nope, just there I think, yeah. So I put a pin right in that centre point, and then I'm going to put that down into the hole where my pin is here. Okay, just there. Oh, we've got the other out now. Okay, so I'm just poking that in there, so I know now. That's it. Let's just hold that like that. So there is my pin. I'm just going to grab hold of that so I know that is now in the center. You can always check if you want to and measure. Let's just see, that doesn't look quite doesn't look quite central there. So that there is 2.5, 2.5. Yeah, that will be good enough. So I've got my circle of Decaville right in the center there. So now I'm just going to bring in the iron. There we go. And I'm just going to bring this over here very carefully. You would probably do this on the ironing board so that you don't have to move it. I'll shift it a little bit, but never mind. So then I'm going to press down, and you want to press this for a good. I'm just going, because you see that's not, it's got to melt. You've got a fairly thick leathery interfacing, and the heat needs to go through to melt that adhesive. So once you've got it, so that is just basically, so I'm going to flip it over now, and it's easier then to iron from this side because all the heat is going through fabric onto the glue. So now that it is nicely adhered, I can just move it around. But to start off with, it's better to just, so I don't want to scorch it, it's better to just dab down like this to get the heat. Now I think that is probably enough. So we do need, or we should leave that to cool down for a good 20 minutes. If you read any of Vylene's wording about different ones, you should always leave, even your fusible waddings, you should leave it till it's cooled down to allow the fabric and the glue to adhere to each other. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the other piece of fabric wrong sides together and align all these edges. So the better your circle is, or the more accurately equal it is, the better, and it will work. So I am going to just put a few pins just to hold this here, and let's put another one here, just so that it won't shift, but it's a bit belts and braces like I like every now and again. So let's just put that over there. The first thing you're going to do, and you can actually feel where the circle is. You can feel where there we are. You can feel where, so I can still feel that's warm now. The first thing we need to do though is to stitch just to the side, so your sewing machine foot will actually feel exactly where that is without you having to make a mark. Now at the end of the day, once it's stuffed, if you were to draw on the line around the circle, you would find that it will be hidden. You can't see it because the puffy channels actually hide all of that. So let's just take it to the machine while that's cooling down, and we're just going to stitch, as I say. So I will have my foot, there we go. So I'm actually, how am I going to do, I don't want it too warm. I've got a friction pen here. There we go. So I can actually, this will iron away. There we are. So you can see how that is easily. Now a friction pen is heat erasable. So I can just pop the iron on here and that's going to go. So, oops, you see I've gone over the edge there. But there is my circle under here. Like so. Oh, it's a good job it's not a pen, otherwise it would show. So I'm just going to do a standard stitch length here of 2.5, and I'm going to stitch all the way around, so it's holding that in place. So you were saying about, I think it was Catherine was saying, could you use card and a glue or a stick and spray, something along those lines, which you could. It's just if it gets wet, the card is going to disintegrate. But you could try that. So as you can see, have I got all the way around? Oh no, not quite. There we are, nearly all the way around. And when I get to where I started, I'm just going to do a few stitches over there. Okay, so I'll take my pins out now, because I've just got a little bit more marking to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to bring my cutting mat in here. I'm not going to be cutting, but I am going to be drawing. So I want a nice flat surface. Okay, so I am going to, now I did have my centre, but yes, it doesn't matter, because wherever I put my ruler is going to go through the centre. So again, I am going to use a friction pen. You could use a pencil, because all of these marks are not actually going to show. And I'm going to draw one line the whole way across. Okay, so let's just draw that line. There we are. Right, so I've drawn a line the whole way across. Don't know if you can see that very well. But now from there, I do need one to be at 90 degrees. So if we find that center point, so I'm going to measure this, and that is, gosh, that's good, 11 inches. So at 5.5 is going to be my center. So there is my center. I'm going to pull that in a little bit so that you can see. So I put a mark at the 5.5. Now, if I, with a ruler, patchwork ruler, look for a horizontal line, put that horizontal line on the first line that I've drawn across here, like so, and make sure that lines up, and there's that dot. I can now draw, because this is going to be 90 degrees to that. So I've divided it into 4 equal parts, 4 quarters there. So I've got my lines in there, which you can see, and I now want to do one halfway here. So because that's 90 degrees, I want 45 degrees, which if you've got a protractor, great. If not, what you can do on your ruler is there's a 45 degree, there's a white line there. So if I put a white line on the line that I've drawn, I've got the 45 degrees there. So I'm just going to pop that into the middle, and I'm going to start that line off, but then I can take the whole ruler down, and so I'm going through the middle still, lining up with what I've just drawn. This is a bit like a maths lesson, isn't it? Oh, let's just go back out again. There we are. So I've just drawn the whole way across there. And then I want to divide this one. So again, take that 45 degree line, line it up with one of my straight lines there. And once you do that, that has divided this and this in half. So I can start, I need to go through the middle though. So I've slid it up there, and then we can draw down to the middle and then slide it down and just continue that line across to the other side. And then, so I've got all my lines drawn in there, but then in these small ones here, I'm just going to do a little bit of guessing, because it isn't crucial. I'm going to just have a look. It's a small area here. I'm going to use a small ruler instead, because it's so much nicer using a small ruler. So where has my small ruler gone? Oh, I put that on it. Nope. Oh, that's my small ruler. Okay, so I've got one of my rulers here. I'm just going to have a look, and I'm just going to guess the distance between those two lines. this isn't going to matter too much. So one there, one here. You could measure if you want to, so it's absolutely accurate. So this time I'm only going from the edge of the circle outwards. So I'm just dividing. These are going to be my puffy channels. Okay, so let's just have a look. Right, and so there'll be, what will there be, 8 of these. Okay, and that one, oh, it's all gone quiet. That one, and that one. So the preparation of this is what takes the longest, I think. So, okay. Right, so I've got all of those done. Don't need my pen anymore. Let's take you, can you see there? So I've got the circle that I've already done. I've done 2 lines the whole way across at right angles to each other where I'm going to stitch. And then I'm going to, oh no, I've done the others as well. So then I'm going to stitch the whole way across 4 times. And then I've got all these smaller ones that I'm going to stitch along those as well. So if you, as I say, I am going to turn my stitch length down to 2 now, and I'm just going to stitch across all of those lines. So let's have a look here. So we'll start at the edge, and I would actually reverse when you start, and I'm going to go right across, so right across the whole circle and reverse at the other end. And then I'm going to go, I'll go the perpendicular now so that I can see. So reverse there, all the way across. And if you come off the line a little bit, doesn't matter that much. And then I've got one in between, or I've got 2 in between actually. So we'll reverse there. And you'll feel the sewing machine will easily stitch over your decaville, which is going to give a nice solid base. And I've got one more here. To see where I stitch actually. There we go. Go all the way across here. And reverse at that end. Now I'm coming into these little bits in between. So here's 2 stitch lines. I've got to do just that little one. So at the little one is on the edge of the circle, reverse, and reverse at the end, and then on to the next one, edge of the circle, reverse, onto the end, and oh, it started up again. Oh goodness. There we are. And then round to the next little one. You've got all these little bits of thread which you'll need trimming away. And the next one, reverse, and trim, and reverse, out to the edge and trim. And must be coming towards the end now. And then there's the fun bit. One more, oh, this is the last one. So it doesn't take too long at all, does it? Okay, so I've got all of my pieces stitched now. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to wander around here and just trim those little bits of thread. That one's gone, that one's there, that one's there, and there, and there. Now probably we might have a few on the back here. Okay, but these little bits are going to get sucked into the puffiness. There's one here. Just trim those off. And there as well. Just make sure you don't cut the stitching because that's what's going to make your channels. Oh, that's where we started and stopped on the circle. There we go, and that's gone. I think we've got most of them done now. Okay, let's trim that. That's where my circle wasn't exact. So there are my marks, which I'm just going to get the iron over here and just iron those away, which is really satisfying. So now I have no marks on there because I've ironed them away. The next thing we need to do is we need to get our stuffing. What did I do with my stuffing? There it is. Right, the stuffing is over here. So toy stuffing, old pillow, like this. Stuffing. Right, let's just come up. We can do this a little bit higher. So I've got stuffing here. Let's just grab this bit here. And all we're going to do is lift up, maybe not cardboard then. Yeah, no, not with stitching across. So I'm just pulling that little channel, can you see that? Pulling it apart. So if I get a bit of stuffing, pull that apart, and then just stuff the stuffing in there. Okay, so I'm stuffing it right down to the bottom. Don't stuff it right to the top at this point. Leave, I would say 2/3 to 3/4. So you can see I've stuffed that bit in there. I could say do the opposite ones, but I just, on the original one that I did, I just worked my way around. So just stuff that in. And can you see already how by doing that, that side has started to stand up? So stuff that in there. You can always fill the channels fuller once you have been the whole way round. Or you could even, because we need to close the tops, so as you're doing that, you can add a little bit more in. But the reason for not filling them completely is because at the end of the day, we've got to close that up like that and pull it together. So let's just get a little bit more. So we have actually got, I think, 16 of these little channels to fill. So if you hold on to one side and then just poke that in with the other finger, push it right down to the bottom, like that. And next one, push that one down, like that. Push it right down to the bottom. And you can see already that's standing up, as if by magic. Okay. So you can play about with this. You don't need any magic tool. Your finger, just put a tiny bit more in there. I can see that's not as full as the others. There we are. You don't need a magic tool to stuff it because your fingers are just right to be able to push that down into the base. And if you grab a largish piece of it, it all just follows its way into that channel. So let's just push that one. So as soon as you start pushing that down, the rest of it just follows in, and then you can push your finger all the way down to the bottom. Make sure your fabric is still sticking up. Let's find a bit more there. Okay, so next one round, see, like so. So just grab one side of the previous channel that you've stuffed, and it just holds the sides up so that you can just push all the way down. There we go. So that's stuffed in there. And then the next one. Down there. feel that I haven't got as much as I did. Oh, I'm just going to shut this door, I can't stand that noise. Oh, you can still hear it, but it's not quite as loud. Honestly, a Friday evening, wouldn't you expect to have a little bit of peace and quiet? Not for the wicked, as they say. How on earth did you come up with this idea? Oh, I did one years ago. And, oh, how many years? 10, 12, 15 years ago. And when I was thinking oh, I tell you when else I did one. When I was working with Debbie Shaw, she had some little kits, and they were much smaller, but there was a little kit, and I had to make some up and then demonstrate them. So they were not done in this way. I think the circle at the bottom was separate. So this base bit here was a separate circle which you covered, and then you stitched it to the base. And I thought, oh, I mean, obviously I was working with them then, so I did what I was told to do. But if I can find an easier way to do it, so much the better, and far easier than trying to, like this part here, all this outer edge with the channels, was a straight strip of fabric which we made channels into, and then you had to make sure the strip was just the right length to be able to go around the base of a circle. So a different way of achieving the same end results. But as I say, isn't this so much easier? There's not really too much to have to think about with this. Just getting your little sections roughly similar. I didn't pay too much attention to getting it absolutely right. As you can see, you know, the edges of my circle weren't perfect, but by the time we've stuffed them like this, you can see that you're not going to be able to tell whether that the circle was exact or not. So there we are, we've come up to number 16. So there we go. There we go. That one in there, that could do with just a little bit more there. I think possibly a little bit more there. So you can see these sides aren't quite as high. So you can go around and see if you feel that you need a little bit more stuffing in any of these. I might put the tiniest little bit, oh, there's a bit there. Put that in there. So that isn't too bad, but as I say, you can go around and just push your finger down, but you just want to make sure that you can get those side pieces. So there we are, the basis of it, but just make sure they're all pushed down to the bottom, because that's what's making the basis of, I mean, I know we've got our Decaville at the bottom, but when you look at the bottom here, bit of thread there, that's nice and flat, and you can see those ripples around there. Last year I returned most of your Christmas presents, but I don't do it, but this year I will. Yes, why not? Why not? We've got plenty of time, and in July I shall be doing Christmas in July. I shall be doing quite a few projects with Christmas in mind, so you know, so that you've got all your gifts covered. Okay, so I'm just about done there. So the next thing we need to do is get yourself some strong thread. Now I've got what am I using? I'm using Orifil floss, nice and strong. So all I've done, I've threaded it into a large-eyed needle but sharp, and I've put a knot on the end. So let's come in a little bit closer, and hopefully, my mum said to me, oh, I watched you the other night, why are your thumbnails beautiful and a little finger? Oh, I've got some pen on there, which yes, my little finger is lovely, and my 2 thumbnails, but all the rest are short. And I said, well, they just break. But yes, those come in handy to have a good thumbnail. Christmas in July, yes, absolutely. Right, so all we do now, just push that stuffing down. And this is where, if you do want to put a bit more in, you can do that now. But push it down so that you can line up that edge, the raw edges of the fabric. And I'm just going to do some largish running stitches around about, say about 1/4 inch below the top. And I'm pulling a bit of stuffing through there, that's why. And just pull that through and carry on around there. Okay, so I've stitched that, then we'll go to the next one, push that down, and if you've got too much stuffing in, it won't be easy to do a row of stitches like that. Okay, so I'm not pulling it up completely, so I'll pull it a little bit as I go. All right, so I'm just drawing that up and then push the next one down. We've got a couple of stitches in there, and as I say, I'm not doing the smallest stitches that I could possibly do. I'm doing a long running stitch. My stitches are probably 1/4 inch long, and it's about 1/4 inch from that top edge. Okay, so again, you can just draw that up, just make that nice and even as you're going, and then we'll just do this last little bit here on that particular section. Push that down. Actually, that could do, I feel that could do with a little bit more in there. So just push that down. You don't want to really stitch through it, because that being like acrylic, and we're using cotton thread, we're using cotton fabrics, it doesn't help for easy stitching. So just keeping those raw edges aligned at the top, and do as many stitches as you can. And as I say, just drawing them up a little bit as you go. There's the next one. So in, that's it. Very therapeutic. And, you know, apart from me cutting out the circles beforehand, I have done all the stitching within this hour, well, half an hour, because it was 7 o'clock before I started on this. So you can tell that it doesn't take that long either. There we are. So let's just pull those up a little bit. Just gather those threads, and you can see that's just pulling that up quite nicely as we go. So again, through there and through the next. And the thread, I didn't have too long a piece. I want it to be long enough, but I should think there's about 18 inches of thread. And as long as you don't get it caught through your stuffing, that's pulling through really quite nicely. So just gather that around again. It just saves on pulling it evenly, which I did on my first one. If you try and pull it all evenly right at the end, it's not as easy if you can gather it as you go, to a degree. Okay, so that's going around there. And you don't want to pull it in too far, because it will narrow the opening of your bowl, so the neck of it, if you like, won't be very big. And there we are. So that's just coming along quite nice. You just want these edges to stand upright, so just push that down so that you can get that those top edges nicely in line. Don't prick your finger unless you can help it. And so I've managed to get all of that, because it's nice and springy. Yeah, I've managed to get that all in one section, all in one stitching element. And as I say, you can see that's why I don't want to overstuff it. And we do need to have an edge around the top. Didn't get all of that one. That was stuffed just that little bit more, I could tell. So just around there. So once I've got to the edge, that last little bit, decided it's going to give me a knot in the end. That's because it's the end of the thread, and I'm just going to trim that little bit off because it's going to keep knotting up. Okay, so there we go, and stitch around here. We haven't got many to go, and around here, and push that one down. Keep these raw edges aligned, and then, as I say, the finishing off, I think you do need to do beforehand, unless, I suppose what could have been quite good, although it wouldn't cover these stitches up. I was trying to think of a way of making it easy to make a nice neat edge along the top, and if we had used bias binding to bind the whole way around the edge here, you would still see your tacking stitches once you've done them. But it, you know, it could be a good way. Perhaps one of you can try that. So before we started to fill the channels with stuffing, if you'd put bias binding around this edge, which I'm now gathering up, that might look quite good actually, because it would give a nice frilly edge like we have here, but a neat frilly edge because of the bias binding. So it could be an option. So I'm on my very last one now, so just push all of that stuffing right down, and we'll just keep those raw edges aligned as much as we can. I could see there that my cutting wasn't particularly accurate, but once the binding is around the top, you won't be able to see that. So I've come right to the end. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit here, just to even that out. I think that's quite good, isn't it? So I think I've just about got that right with the gathering up. I'm going to do one little stitch over there to hold that, and I'm going to knot this off, but I'm going to, so that's one knot. I'm going to stitch into it again, because what we do not want to happen is for this to come undone. So the other thing we can do, so I've done 3 knots in there. The other thing I'm going to do now, just as we're doing quilting, is go in there into the stuffing, and I'm going to come out down here. Can you see I've come out just there? So I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to pull it that little bit tighter and clip that thread, and that thread is now buried in there. Okay, so that is that one made. I'm not going to, what was Catherine just saying? Yeah, Barbara was just thinking that. Oh, full of Christmas sweeties, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, or somebody's put lace around the top. That would look lovely. That would look fantastic. Yeah, to put lace, and it would all come out crinkly. Lovely. I know there's also, and I've got some somewhere, but I don't know where, I have got some bias binding with a picot edge. So I think that would actually look very nice, because you have the little picot all gathered up as well. So you have got some thread in your Christmas advent calendar box, and just a little heads up, so we'll wait till Christmas in July, but I will be doing the Christmas advent boxes again. Yay! I've already started building a collection of bits and pieces, so I shall be doing that again. So here is the prototype. Here is the start of the bowl, which, as you can see, it's all beautifully puffy all around there. Little bit smaller. There's the base of that one. So a little bit smaller, but I think they'll look quite nice together. So all I did here, I just got some bias binding and folded it over. Oh, lots more there. What else are we saying? Dark lint. Oh goodness, please, I love lint. Okay, Tony. Oh, Josie loves it. Do you think pre-made piping could work? The piping's got raw edges though. That's the only thing. You want something that has got each side is neat. Oh, you didn't like to ask. Oh, it's like, yes, they will be coming. You loved your advent box last year. Yes, Christmas boxes, yes. There we go. So, as I say, all I did with my bias binding, I just folded it. I've got the bias binding here, actually. So you could do this with, you could just do it with straight strips of fabric if you want to. But as it's bias bind, I just folded it in half like that, and then I slotted it over the top. Now I've used binding clips there, but you see I'm just slotting it over the top, and let's just get one of these and just pop the binding clip there, and then again fold it over and push it along the top, and a binding clip to hold it, so that, and then just carry on the whole way round and do a nice overlap as well. And then I've just done a straight stitch. I was doing it quite quickly, but that would be a way of doing it. The other thing I thought about was getting some nice thick yarn, if you like, with a big needle, but with a nice sharp point, and actually doing a blanket stitch or buttonhole stitch around the top edge. Oh, hello Eileen. We're just about finished, actually, 7:45. Martin said 7:45, but that is how we do it. So as I say, that one practically, well, I've just got to finish off the top there, and here's the one I've got to go to. Okay, thank you everybody for watching tonight. It has been lovely. And I like bringing you something, again, just that little bit different. Thank you, Catherine. I'll get the invoice sent through to you. And yeah, the end of another week. So, I shall see you next week. Okay, Eileen, fine. Thank you, Barbara. Can you use the same fabric and make a strip to fold? Yeah, absolutely could. Absolutely could, Janet. I can't wait. Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Jill and Jill. And Sonia. So next week, the Sew with Trisha group, we will have a patchwork quilt. I've got to crack on with that this weekend, haven't I? So Tuesday in the Sew with Trisha group will be a quilt. We won't have a Thrifty Thursday fabric sale next Thursday. I'll see what we will or won't do. And Friday I'll come up with another idea to see on Friday. So have a lovely evening and a lovely, lovely weekend. It's going to be hot. So let's hope we have a little bit of a breeze as well, and we can have a lovely time. So enjoy yourselves, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.